So let me tell you about everything I know about snakes and hibernaculums. Hibernaculi.
It's a thing if you come upon it in nature, you just kind of want to end your life right there. Welcome back to Kart Space Radio. I'm Donald, once again joined by Brad.
Hello.
And we are joined by special guest Scott.
Hey, that's me. Special. And also a guest.
Wow. So much truth right away.
Setting the bar really high.
I believe Scott is the youngest guest we've ever had. He is what they call the quote-unquote millennials. So I just want to ask real quick, what have you guys wrecked today? Because every day I open the news, it's like, millennials have wrecked restaurants. I'm like, they're still there.
Personally, I haven't wrecked anything today. But as for my peers, my millennial peers, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it's fruit or something. It's probably a Halloween costume.
Halloween costumes are wrecked. We've also given away when this is being recorded. Oops. So, we're here to talk about the Mario Kart in all its splendid forms. Brad, you want to tell us about Mario Kart and where it came from?
I didn't realize Scott was so young, so I mostly had studied up on Mario Kart 64, which probably came out before he was born. But Mario Kart's been around since the Super Nintendo. They are up to like 8 or 9 now. I know the one on the Wii U is Mario Kart 8. I don't know if there's been another one since then other than kind of a rehash of 8 for the Switch. But it's been a popular franchise. It's appeared on almost every Nintendo-made system since its debut. It is a game about Mario and his friends and also worst enemies having fun go-kart races.
Okay, so we claim that they're having fun at go-kart races, but I want to ask my question right away. Is Mario the worst friend in the entire world?
Well,
he saves the Mushroom Kingdom, then he's like, you know what you guys are going to do? You're going to come race go-karts with me. Bowser's like, you just murdered me. I don't want to drive a race car with you.
And even then, it's not like they're like racing karts to have fun. The racing karts, like, they're battling. It's always a battle. Always a battle.
That is true. It's like, let's race karts, and then throws a red turtle shell at your head. And he's like, haha, Mario wins again. Everyone's like, everyone just let Mario win. He's more bearable that way.
I also think, now that I'm actually thinking about it, I don't think that I've ever actually played as Mario in any of the Mario Karts. Unless you're like, back in the old ones when you were like forced to.
Mario Kart and maybe some of the other Mario-related sports titles that have come out over the years kind of gives us a glimpse into what the post-Mario rescuing the princess future of the Mushroom Kingdom is. Because it's like, theoretically, what we can assume from what we see in Mario Kart is that they put him in charge, and what he wants to do is make everybody play his stupid sports with him. And if you beat him, he probably has you killed.
So you're saying this is like an Italian mob situation here in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Kind of like one of those backwater dictatorships where, you know, like, you have to go, like, play golf with Kim Jong-un, but then, like, you have to let him win and, like, pretend that he got all these holes in one. So, like, yeah, the Mushroom Kingdom is basically North Korea. And Mario's just a huge jock dictator.
That's a strong parallel. But I'll follow.
Now watch this video of our glorious leader, Mario, winning another go-kart race.
So, I played Super Nintendo Mario Kart this week because it's the one I like. I like Double Dash a bunch. I think those are the two I've played. I haven't played it in quite a while. It's kind of rough, guys.
Whatever do you mean?
It's kind of rough to play because the effect they used to make it look like you were driving down a track, my brain had trouble processing that, and I was like, I'm going to win this race and then vomit onto my lap.
The one that I played the most was Mario 64, and I have good and bad memories of that game because it came out while I was working at the store. And we had a Nintendo 64 set up in the store. And Saturday nights, I would just go in and work with Ultimate Tom. And instead of actually, like, helping customers, we would just ignore people and play Mario Kart, like, all night long. And that was fun, except he was so much better at it than me that, like, he would just kill me all night long. And then when it got to the award ceremony where it shows like the little trophy coming down, plays the music, he'd strut around the store and humming the song, doot, doot, doot. And that would go on for like 2 minutes. It got to a point where I considered a victory if I could get somebody else other than him to win. So final lap, I'd usually be driving around the track backwards, parking in the narrowest area of the track with like the 3 turtle shells, so he'd have to hit me. Just anything I could do to cost him first place, because the most I could hope for against Ultimate Tom was just like a moral victory.
So you played Luigi in Mario Kart 8 before Mario Kart 8 even came out. Just the ultimate jerk.
I'm just a born Luigi, I guess.
I feel your pain. Growing up, I've never been good at video games, so good thing you're having me on today. So like I always played with my cousin, who is a super big gamer, and now my fiance, who is also a crazy gamer. You know, these guys have grown up, have been playing video games since before I was born. And I just always took a second seat. So I totally know that like mental, moral struggle of trying to take them down from the inside as opposed to, with your controller.
I don't know. You launch a SNES control at the side of your brother's head hard enough, you'll win, because if someone's unconscious, they can't play a game.
Very true. Or if they're too busy like punching you, in my case.
I mean, that's just Punch Out.
I see the flaw in my strategy of always playing against a 6.5 foot tall guy.
My brother, he was very good at games, and he'd always beat me. And I think what shaped me into how I play games now is that he was so unrelenting that it forced me to get better, to the point that he won't play fighting games with me anymore. He just won't. No matter what. I'm like, do you want to play Street Fighter 2? And he'll walk out of the room, because he can't handle what I do to him in fighting games as like some deep-seated revenge from when I was 9.
It probably doesn't help that every time you land a combo, you're shouting, "This is for what you did to me in Mario Kart, Billy!"
He's like, "My name's not Billy." "Shut up, Billy!" I know, I'm terrible. Like, in high school, people are like, "Let's play Mario Kart, it's fun." I'm like, I disagree with you on this topic. But sure, because I think it was Mario 64. When that came out, I had Need for Speed on the PC.
Okay.
And they're like, "This game is so amazing," playing Mario Kart 64. I'm like, "Oh, what?"
That's just apples and oranges. Apples and oranges there.
Like, it's so fast. I'm like, oh, if that's what you want to say with your mouth, that sure is a thing you can do.
Speaking of Need for Speed, I used to play that split screen against my brother, and if one of us got the lead, it would become advantageous to kind of just slightly bump one of the civilian cars, so that not enough to get into a crash, but enough to make it swerve all over the road. And then, like, somebody's like 2 seconds behind you, just hit a car, and then I'd just be like, "Oh, Brian trap," and my brother Brian would be like, "What?" And then he'd hit the car and fly up in the air. I'm like, yeah, that. So, yeah, Need for Speed can be just as vicious as Mario Kart.
Man, we all had a Billy we had to deal with.
Indeed.
So, a list of things that Mario made his friends do. He made them play soccer. I mean, who does that? They're like, "You're from Brooklyn. This is a European sport. We don't understand this." He made them golf. He has made them go to the Olympics several times. He is not in like the physical shape that you see most Olympians in. Like, you're like, "Michael Phelps, why don't you look like a dumpy plumber?" He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm a finely tuned machine." Like, "But this dumpy plumber is putting down better times than you."
He didn't even shave off his mustache. Like all the water resistance.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Mario's not a plumber anymore.
That's right. He lost his shirt, got some nipples, and was like, "I'm not a plumber anymore."
He can turn into a T-Rex. I mean, that's beyond plumber.
You do not want a T-Rex trying to unclog your toilet. They got those small arms. They can't get the plunger.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the biggest sign of Mario's bad friendness is that he makes the princess participate in these events with both Donkey Kong and Bowser, who are two different individuals that have at times kidnapped her. Now you think about, like, she was abducted, she had to be rescued, God only knows what happened to her while she was a captive. I'm sure it's super traumatizing. She probably has some post-traumatic stress, and Mario is just like, "We're going go-kart racing, Bowser's gonna be there."
Yeah, I mean, that's Man, I didn't think that is super cruel.
Yeah.
Hey, I broke them out of jail so they could race karts with us. Are you okay with that? And she's like, actually, he's like, yeah, I don't care. We're racing with them. Because they have go-karts.
As part of their criminal rehabilitation, they get a go-kart outing once a week.
I mean, it's like every Disney movie, right? Like, everybody's fighting, and then at the end, everybody's like best friends, apparently, instead of just like forgetting that they exist and going their separate ways. Everybody's just friends, so we're all friends now. Is that right? That's how it works, right?
Well, that's not how it worked in Beauty of the Beast, where they like threw the guy off of a building into a fire.
But did anyone like him? Like, they took a vote, and they're like, yeah, the Beast can throw him off the building. Everyone else will be friends, but that guy, dead. No, but Waluigi and Wario, they have to be like, man, Mario's a bad person. And when they're saying you're a bad person, wow.
The Wii U version, they really, really expanded the roster, and they have the baby versions of about 6 or 7 different characters, in addition to the characters being in the game. So, I mean, imagine how, forget about just the time warpiness, but imagine like you're in a race or playing tennis or whatever, something and you're really into it, and you lose to a baby version of yourself. Like, you're just like, I'm worse at this than I was when I was an infant. Like, I can't think of a single activity that I was better at when I was 1 year old than I am now. Even being old and decrepit and falling apart physically, I'm still better than I was at 1 year old at just about everything.
Yeah, and you've got and in Deluxe, I don't know, I actually never played 8, but I've only played Deluxe. Is Metal Mario in 8?
I think so.
Because that actually, I was playing it earlier in like the battle modes, and it was like there was a Mario, a baby Mario, and a Metal Mario, just running around. Like, what does that do to your psyche?
So Mario is like, hey, I need a T1000 version of myself to race against because everyone here is lame. And also, I need to race babies because I can beat babies. Everyone's like, Mario, what is wrong with you? And he's like, I'm perfect.
My only flaw is
That's what's
that
wrong
I have
with
no
me.
flaws.
Not only is Bowser invited to these events, but at least for like some of the newer ones, all of Bowser's kids are there too. So you just imagine like Mario like shooting one of Bowser's kids with a red shell, and he spins off and falls off the track and plummets. And that happens right in front of Bowser, and Bowser's like, oh, my kid! And Mario is just like, hey, that reminds me of the time that I like broke into his castle and stomped him to death. Remember when I did that, Bowser? Like, Mario is a psycho.
Hey, Bowser, I invited all your children to this race. I hope they don't die.
Again.
And Bowser's like, maybe I should lose so he doesn't murder my family again. Maybe Bowser this whole time's been trying to save Peach from Mario. It's not a kidnapping, he's just trying to get her away. Have we considered this?
I mean, that's a really interesting point.
So, you have all these modes, and you go to these drug-induced different kind of zones. The epitome of which is Rainbow Zone, where he makes everyone just do 10 different drugs of their choice, and it's actually just like the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. It's just everyone's tripping so hard they see Rainbow Road. So we have all these tracks, and I don't know who sponsors it, because at the end of this, there's like blimps and there's trophies, and everyone's happy about this event. But are they just happy for the sake of not making Mario angry at them?
Probably. It's like one of those festivals in communist countries. You have to go and you have to cheer.
Yeah, it's state controlled, yeah.
So like, okay, now that the karts race is over, let's go to the missile parade.
Yeah, like in North Korea, they have like contests to see like who can cheer the loudest at like inaugurations and things. So maybe that's like what it is.
It's time for a round of who can cheer the loudest at gunpoint. Me, I can.
Yeah.
Inaugurations in a communist country. That's kind of like who's gonna win? Who's on the ballot? Oh, you don't even get to vote. Just come to the inauguration. It's Mario. It's real weird.
Not Baby Mario. Not Metal Mario. Just regular Mario.
I think the most important racer in the Mario franchise is Yoshi, because he's the funniest of them all. Because, like, Donkey Kong, he's sort of aware of what's going on. But in none of the games is like, Yoshi is hyper intelligent. So Mario literally put a dinosaur in a go-kart and was like, okay, this is the pedal for the gas and this is the brake. Go. I'm not saying that Mario Kart is a bad game. Once you get into the Polygon era, Mario Kart's a fun game, except for all the horrific amounts of violence inherent in Mario Kart. And I guess we can just say right off the bat, Mario is a terrible friend.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
I mean, then he's like, hey, do you want to come to my contest where we punch each other in the face and then try to throw each other off very high suspended ledges? And they're like, no, we don't. He goes, but it's Smash Bros. It's going to be great. And I'm like, oh, no.
You know what's kind of interesting about Smash Brothers versus like Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, all that, is the Mario Kart, golf, tennis, etc. games are, for the most part, all characters just from Mario games. They added like Link as a DLC character in the Wii U one, but I think other than that, it's been like really strictly just Mario games characters. And it's kind of weird because they have the rights to all these characters. Most of them are popular, and they're just like, oh, people don't want to play as Star Fox. They want to play as Roy, like the level 5 boss that's based on Roy Orbison.
They want Sonic, not Link.
I will tell you, that's one with Deluxe. That's a kind of, I don't want to say it's a beef that I have, but like from the get-go, you have all of the characters to play as. Like, you don't unlock any of the characters. They're all there. And I don't know, it kind of bummed me out, but I mean, it was also kind of exciting at the same time because I think I've only played as Link so far. But yeah, they're all there, including all these new Animal Crossing characters, which I'm not so sure about that. But
no one's too sure about Animal Crossing. Everyone's like, yeah, I totally like Animal Crossing, but you're not sure if anyone truly likes Animal Crossing.
Or has ever even played it.
Oh, lots of people play it.
Yeah.
What I would love to see is in Animal Crossing, when you're walking around your town, like a go-kart race, just like blast by your house.
Or at least like an empty go-kart like track.
Yeah, just plowing right through the town. Tom Nook comes up. He's just like, yeah, your house is worthless now because they just built a racetrack through your front yard. But you still have to pay me the full amount for the now worthless house.
Or I'll break your knees. I'm Tom Nook. Yeah, Mario just rolls into your town like, I'm building a track and you're going to race with me and you're going to be my friend. Do you understand? Yes, Mario, I understand.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if Bowser here, like, kidnapped some members of your family and there wasn't anybody who was gonna go rescue them. Races at 7.
And Bowser's just like, I don't want to do this, I swear.
This is the only way I get let out of prison and get to see my 8 kids.
I didn't actually do anything wrong because the victor tells the story. So Mario won, so he made up some lies. And Peach is like, ask him where Pauline is.
I can tell you where she is in Odyssey. She's the mayor of one of the worlds.
She's doing pretty well for herself.
I thought she was dead because she was in Donkey Kong and then just gone. And like, this is my new girlfriend, Peach. And like, where's Pauline? He's like, shut up.
There is no Pauline.
She's in Odyssey, and she is the mayoress of a town. Then again, I don't know. I don't know if she was elected outright or if she like forced her way into that position. But
it's all her plot to get back at Mario eventually.
You know what I would love to see is like a movie where Wario is this undercover cop trying to like infiltrate the Mario Kart gang, and like he shows up at the event and like Mario's just there leaning on his Mario Kart and he's just like, I live my life 1/4 mile at a time.
Brad, who would play Mario?
Mario would play Mario.
Would Vin Diesel play Mario?
I think in this scenario, Mario is actually playing Vin Diesel. And Wario is playing Paul Walker.
Okay, you know, I'd watch Fast and Furious Mario Kart Edition. It'd be so whimsical. The Rock could play Luigi.
Ooh, yeah.
Ask any Carter, any real Carter. It doesn't matter if you win by a turtle shell or a banana peel. Winning is winning.
You watched Fast and Furious too much, I've decided.
My friend and I used to refer to it as the Bible.
Huh. I bet religions would have a problem with that. They should have Vin Diesel DLC for Mario Kart. Be pretty great.
I wonder how close you can get a me to looking like Vin Diesel.
Okay, listeners, we need you to send us pictures of your me who looks like Vin Diesel. Because we must know.
I was just thinking, like, every me I've ever seen, you could just be like, oh yeah, that's the me version of, so-and-so. And, like, you could just make up any name and it would be, like, the same amount of similarity. Be like, oh, that's the me version of George W. Bush. Or that's the me version of Margaret Thatcher. And it'd be, like, the same character. And you're like, yeah, I guess. I see it.
The me's are like a horrible cloning experiment that's gone wrong. And everyone's like, we gotta tell them they look like something or they're gonna revolt because we made millions of these things and they're just this blob of flesh that thinks it's a living being. So Mario has a cloning facility somewhere. I don't know.
So, spoiler, if you Google Vin Diesel me, there are plenty of results.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and plenty of little QR codes that you can scan to just download that meme.
What horrible world actually that sounds like a perfect world Nintendo has created.
This was their plan all along.
To get Vin Diesel into all their products?
Well, they're just like, we're going to create these Miis, and the trick will be that they don't really look like anyone or anything, except that somehow we'll make it so that you can make a pretty spot-on Vin Diesel. And then that's all anyone will ever do.
Now they just need a Punch-Out game where you can use your Mii, because then you can just be Vin Diesel in Punch-Out. This is a good plan. But not XXX version of Vin Diesel. That's the worst version of Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I don't know. I also wasn't sure about the pacifier Vin Diesel either, but I don't have children, so...
So I had forgotten about that movie right up to this point, and it's now going to take me probably another decade to forget about it.
Well, my apologies.
That movie was terrible. He didn't drive any cars. It was so bad.
Now I kind of want to just go on Amazon and rate every single Vin Diesel movie based on how often he drives cars.
That could be an entire podcast in and of itself.
All right, so I had my question answered. Does anyone else have a deep question they need answered about Mario and his karting and or friends?
I mean, I've put forth my theory that Mario is a sociopath and quite possibly the dictator of the Mushroom Kingdom.
I also want to know... He's starting to get some actual serious sponsors, because in Deluxe, so you can't unlock things. You can't unlock any of the characters, but you unlock new vehicles. You can unlock the new, like the vehicle bodies. You can unlock new tires, and you can unlock the new, I forget, how do they phrase them? Gliders, because you glide a lot through the air. And some of them are actually sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, and they all have the little Mercedes-Benz logo on them.
A what?
That is a really weird crossover.
Indeed. You gotta hand it to him. He's starting to get, like, even though he's obviously in his own, he's running his, like, dictatorship, he's starting to get some pretty serious real-life sponsors with Mercedes-Benz.
Is that the only sponsor in the whole game?
As far as, like, the parts go, yes, it's Mercedes-Benz. You can unlock, like, 2 different body styles, racers that are... Actually, I think 3 different body styles that are Mercedes-Benz, and that all have, like, the little Mercedes-Benz badge in the corner. And then there are Mercedes-Benz wheels that you can unlock.
There's a scenario where Donkey Kong is driving a Mercedes-Benz?
I want to know, like, who in the Mercedes-Benz marketing department is like, well, we sell high-end luxury cars to a mostly older demographic. What we really need is to, like, get a tie-in with Mario Kart.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm thinking when I'm playing Mario Kart. I'm like, man, now I should really drive a Mercedes-Benz in real life. I should upgrade my Honda Civic directly to a Mercedes-Benz.
Has anyone walked into a Mercedes-Benz dealership and was like, where's the red shell launcher on this? And is this where the banana peel comes out the back?
It's like after Gran Turismo came out, like some of the cars in that were kind of obscure became very popular. And I'm just trying to imagine, like, all of a sudden, like, all these Mercedes go flying off the lot because, like, everybody's like, oh, I used this in Mario Kart. It was great. And, like, I want one in real life. Like, no matter how many turtle shells you hit this thing with, it's still in mint condition.
Right.
You're like, so is this a 150cc engine?
Where do I attach my potted piranha plant to the front of this.
If I jump this off a dam, will a parasail deploy and I can glide to the surface? These are important Mercedes questions.
What does it say? Can we get someone from Mercedes-Benz on the line? Do we have contacts at Mercedes-Benz? No? Okay.
Oh, we'll work on that. You pick up one of your friends in your Mercedes and he just looks in the backseat. He's like, "Why do you have so many bananas?" And you're like, "You'll see." It's in case that damn dinosaur is on my tail. Yeah, I kind of want to circle back to Yoshi piloting one of the carts, because, I think probably Mario just, saw this stupid dinosaur that didn't really know what was going on, and he saw this empty go-kart, he's like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome." He didn't even, teach him how to drive or anything, he just, sits him down the go-kart, he's like, "Let's see what happens."
All the others are looking away because they don't want to see what happens. Isn't that the dinosaur he used to punch in the head?
To make him eat? Yeah, Yoshi's so stupid, he can't figure out eating on his own. You gotta, punch him in the head to get him to eat things.
Except for in the Mario mythos, Yoshi saved Mario from death, and then Mario grew up to punch him in the back of the head. What kind of relationship is that?
To serve his own good. Do this for me.
Yeah, we've established Mario's a sociopath. Mario won't hesitate that if he's on Yoshi and he's about to fall in a pit, he will jump off of Yoshi to, do, a double jump and just leave Yoshi to his fate.
Yeah, and always leaving Yoshi to, swallow the most random, dangerous things. I also think that I just broke the code. I have hard evidence that Mario is a terrible person and that Bowser is really just trying to save, that Peach really just needs to go with Bowser. So I'm on Mario Wiki, and for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it lists the players and their rivals. And Mario's rivals are Bowser and Peach.
Oh,
she is listed as a rival. So there it is. It literally is that's it.
That's not a healthy relationship.
No. I mean, is there someone we can call to try to get Peach some safety?
Well, Bowser's trying.
I have my grand theory. Mario wants to be the dictator of the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, Bowser is the king of the Koopas. Peach is a princess. They get married, it's going to be this very powerful royal alliance. The king of Spain marrying the Duke of Austria-Hungary or whatever. And, Mario needs to break this up so that he can establish himself as the power in the Toadstool Kingdom. So he, quote-unquote, rescues the princess. It's all propaganda after the fact once he's the dictator, just like all his karting victories. And, it's a coup. Mario shows up, overthrows the government, establishes himself as this rescuer, has a forced marriage with the princess, and then makes everybody race him in go-karts.
Yeah. Just think of how Peach screams Mario's name. That's the only thing that she ever actually says out loud. And just think of the screech that comes from it. Yeah, she's I didn't ask for this.
I want to know what the mother of Bowser's many children think about his obsession with Peach. She has to be upset about that, right?
Is she the mother of his children?
Is Peach?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've all got the girls at least have pretty little bows. They're all dressed pretty well.
I think I need to go lay down on the floor and think about some things for a minute. So he's just trying to get the mother of his children back, and Mario's like, "No, she's mine now." And he's like, "Peach, I'll come after you." And then Mario just shows up and murders him over and over again.
Yeah, this is a Beauty and the Beast scenario. Yeah, you hit it earlier. And whereas Mario is Gaston, we have figured it out.
We have solved Mario. All right, so an important question. What's creepier, Bowser and Peach in a relationship, or Sonic and the princess from that one Sonic game where he's making out with a human girl?
They're equally creepy. Well, okay, probably Sonic, because you actually see them making out, whereas with Peach and Bowser, you can just be they have kids somehow in some sanitized Nintendo-ish way. They got married and then a stork showed up and nothing physical happened. So it's fine. Sonic is just yeah, we're gonna get it on.
Sonic's a deviant. I think that's been established time and again.
I think Sonic actually is part of the logo for the website DeviantArt. If it's not part of the logo, he's on there a lot.
So I gotta upload these things I drew of me. It's gonna be great.
All the Sonic fan art is actually drawn by Sonic himself. Sonic spends all his spare time just drawing pictures of himself doing inappropriate things.
And just, like, writing his own fan fiction.
I mean, you gotta do something when your franchise sucks. Shadow just goes on there and downvotes everything. He's like, stop it, Shadow, you jerk.
That's going to be like my new theory in my head, is that all fan art and fan fiction was actually made by the character that it's about.
That's a good headspace to be in. I like that. I think that makes a lot of, like, the weird, creepy fan fiction a lot less weird and a lot less creepy. If they're, like, writing it about themselves.
Yeah.
Ron Weasley walks in and slaps Harry in the back of the head and, like, knock it off, and just walks out the room, and Harry gets sad and closes his laptop.
And then just starts journaling his fan fiction instead.
I've been told that fanfic zone is a little bit weird.
Yes, but that's the only one. All other fanfic and fan art is 100% normal.
Except Twilight. I bet that's the most weird.
Wholesome.
I cannot even imagine. I mean, I feel like the last time I was on fanfiction was back in when it started, or back when it was, I don't know, uber popular in its early stages, which was, I think around when the Harry Potter franchise was coming out, and it was already pretty weird then. And we were only, 4 books in at that point, so,
The problem with writing a Twilight fanfiction is it's a statistical probability that you're going to accidentally write a better book than Twilight.
So, there is a Twilight fanfic that became a book.
No, there isn't.
Yeah,
nope.
Brad.
There isn't. Nope. No.
Is it a John Green book?
It's every Dean Koontz novel ever written. There you go.
My grandmother can confirm that.
So, our listeners didn't hear this because it was pre-show, but Donald and I had a discussion about how, as a society, we were supposed to pretend that the Star Wars prequels never happened. And the problem with your generation, Scott, is the problem with you millennials is that you refuse to buy into this ploy. And you keep acknowledging, you personally, I'm blaming this entirely on you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Is that you keep not remembering this and making references to the non-existent prequels, and 50 Shades of Grey is the same thing. That, no such thing. That's not a thing.
So you're saying that 50 Shades of Grey is the Star Wars prequel? Jar Jar Binks shows up and is like, do you want to see my fun room? It's like, no, Jar Jar Binks, I do not.
Misa room of fun. What is Jar Jar's safe word?
Oh, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's where has this episode gone, Brad?
To a bad place.
So back to Mario Kart.
I'm shocked that the show got off track again. It's because we're talking about tracks, haha.
Hey.
Yeah, we're just going to jump right back into it. Nothing weird just happened. But one of the things about the newer Mario Karts that I kind of don't like, or I guess you could say something I miss about the old ones, is the fake treasure box that you could leave out. It looked just like one of the ones that you would pick up for a weapon, but it was an upside down question mark.
Yeah.
That, if you want to start a fight, then that is the item to do it with. You just put one of those in the treasure cluster, and you're going to get punched in the face within 30 seconds.
Yeah, NES controller right up to the side of the head. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I do miss those.
Do you think, on the chalkboard when they're designing Mario Kart, the first item that they said is most important in this game's design is how do we end as many friendships as humanly possible? And then they just right below that wrote Mario Kart. Because I can name lots and lots of parties I went to with my friends where it ended with everyone just hating each other because of Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is a game designed to end friendships and break your heart. It will cause tensions and rifts between friends. We had a run once where me and my brother were trying to get the highest star rating on each Grand Prix. So not only do you have to finish first and get the gold trophy, you have to finish first in every race. Mm-hmm. And this took coordinated effort. So instead of us being rivals, he was winning the races and I was basically his tail gunner. So anybody who looked like he might, pass my brother, I would peel back and take him out. we got to the final stretch of Rainbow Road, and he got blue shelled, and then like triple red shelled, and then like green shelled, and then just rammed off the track. He went from 1st to 10th in the span of like 5 seconds. Yeah, that's Mario Kart.
And you took the glory?
No, I finished 11th because I was still trying to defend him.
So that sounds like the worst experience in video gaming. Right there.
You know, it's like every so often Mario Kart just turns into Dark Souls.
Most of the times when I'd play Mario Kart and it started doing stuff like that to me, my only thought is, why don't we just drive our cars and see who's the superior driver? Just for once, let's see who's the best driver. But I'm imagining Mario's really terrible at driving, and that's why that doesn't happen. He's like, yeah, we're all going to be armed. And for some reason, I always have the best weapons.
You know, one thing... Okay, maybe you guys can answer this for me, because like I said, I haven't played a ton of them, but I've had my fair share, right? Because everybody has their, like, 2 or 3 that they, like, have hardcore loved. So, if you're in first place in Deluxe, all you get when you get the little treasure boxes is coins. Is that true for the other games? Because I have qualms with this, because I can't retaliate when you're in first place and you just get bombarded with, you know, all the shells and all the ink blots, and all I've got is like a coin. Like, I can't save anything up. Literally all you get. Sometimes you'll get a banana, but all you get is coins.
No, because you'd get like the 3 turtle shells to protect you, and you could fire the multicolored shells out the back of your car in the older ones.
Yeah, they tailor the prize drops to your position. And in the newer ones, it's really, really, really skewed towards, you know, helping out people who are in the back. And yeah, I've experienced this with 8, where if you're in the lead, your items are pretty much limited to banana peels, a lot of coins, and maybe once in a while you'll get a green shell. The thing that's funny about this, though, is the game thinks it's helping you. If you're way in the back, it'll start giving you a lot of mushrooms to kind of turbo your way back up, including like the infinity mushroom. But the problem with that is if you're way in the back, it's probably because you're having a hard time staying on the track, and more speed is not going to be your friend. You need like an autopilot, like in Wipeout.
Oh, Speed Racer always said all he needed was more speed, so...
How often did you see Speed Racer in 12th place out of 12 racers?
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Mario would beat him, because he'd be too afraid to beat Mario, because Mario will have him executed or something. I guess that's Mario Kart and or every other franchise that features cars or whatnot. Do you guys have any final thoughts on Mario Kart?
Yeah, one final thought, and that is that it's not how you stand by your cart, it's how you race it.
Oh boy. Scott, any final thoughts on Mario Kart and the Fast and Furious?
I can't tell you the last time I saw a Fast and Furious movie, or which ones I've ever actually seen. But, you know, no, I'll say, as far as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch goes, I love it. It's a whole lot of fun. I've got my qualms. We didn't even talk about the battle system. But, no, yeah, I love it. And I will continue to play it.
Is the battle system just like PvP in a big area, or?
Yeah, there's like one new kind of battle system that's basically like cops and robbers, and it is called Renegade Roundup, where you're split into 2 teams. There's a red team and a blue team, and one is the cops and one is the robbers. And that's where I said earlier when we were talking about how we're all going to go get Mercedes-Benz tomorrow.
Yeah.
They attach the cops. You have a potted piranha plant attached to the front of your car, and the objective is to chase all of the bad guys down and snatch them up with the piranha plant, and they get sent to this little like jail cell.
Huh, that's pretty good mode.
Yeah, that's like the only one that I actually like, and maybe it's just because I'm terrible at all the other ones, but it's new to this, and I like it a lot.
Can I suggest some improvements to it, though? One team plays the robbers, and the other team plays a semi-truck. And the robbers have to hijack the semi-truck while being Vin Diesel.
The Vin Diesel me, which I'm going to download here shortly.
Man, that's not fair. I can't download a Vin Diesel me. I need to say to my wife, I need a Nintendo Switch. Why? So I can download the Vin Diesel me. Any other reason? Nope.
Well, do you have a Wii U? I think you can get on there too.
I don't have a Wii U.
Don't waste your time.
I was like, I will buy a Wii U if they put out a Metroid game. And then they didn't. Because Nintendo hates Metroid. That's like a whole nother episode. It's just me being angry about that. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode, guys.
All right.
Scott, thank you for coming by and delving into the horrors of the Mario dictatorship with us.
I am honestly, I'm gonna have issues sleeping tonight. Just thinking about all of this, and I'm telling you, the Mario Wiki, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wiki, listed right in front of my eyes. Player Mario, rivals Bowser, Peach. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
This is a bad situation all around for everybody. Mario, we didn't actually know him until this episode started, and now we have to live what we've discovered.
Yeah, and Peach's rivals are Toad and Donkey Kong. So, not Bowser. So,
Toad, that's like her helper.
Yeah.
He like does everything for her. If she's lost, he tells Mario he's in another castle.
Maybe that was part of the coup. Like, they're just like, oh, Toad's the one that's like, oh, she's been kidnapped. And, this great plot of Mario is like it needed Toad to be like the public face that everybody trusted to pass it off as a legitimate kidnapping and not like Mario just breaking up a wedding.
Toad is Littlefinger, not to bring another entirely different universe into this, but Toad is Littlefinger.
He's Toadfinger. Yeah. Just say like Toad with a pointy beard and graying temples.
Now I need a Game of Thrones fan fiction where everything is just completely normal except that Toad is Littlefinger.
Be careful what you put out into the universe because it might come back to you.
I'm gonna hashtag and tweet that and poke it, and I'm gonna get it out there. I'll Dropbox somebody some bitcoins to write that for me.
A lot just happened.
Sorry. Was that too millennial or?
No, I was just saying a lot just happened in a short span of time. You went from I want this fanfic to a complete plan of how you're going to make it happen.
I get things done.
And I'm like, man, I could go for some toast in that same amount of time. So
this is why we have guests.
Well, someone on this show has a plan, Brad, so that's new for us. To show us how the show could be better. All right, guys.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah.
We hope we didn't ruin Mario Odyssey for you.
No, we barely. No, I can't wait to continue playing it. So
you'd be like, I don't want to break up this wedding because it's good for Peach. All right, Brad.
All right.
Oh, we probably should tell people. Sorry, this whole Mario thing has really screwed me up.
It should be screwing everyone up.
This is a train wreck of an ending.
If you want to know more about Vin Diesel, Google Vin Diesel. If you want to get a hold of us, all that contact info's in the show notes. Scott, are you brave enough to say how people can get a hold of you in case they want to do that?
Yeah, I am basically everywhere on the internet. I am at Hey Scott Curry, which is my name, with Hey in front of it.
So that was this episode of Cartridge Space Radio. I'm Donald, that was Brad, and that was Scott, and we will see you next week.
I realized this too late as you were wrapping up the show, but there's also a level where they're just on the highway. Like Mario is just like, he just sees a highway. He's like, all right, we're going to go race